Hello all. Thank you very much for watching this video. Today we are going to demonstrate the concept of application web application firewall. Basically, this is the security aspect of application. So we are going to deploy a web application firewall in our AWS account. So this is the diagram for. So basically what we are doing here, we are creating VPC. In that we will have two subnets and then our EC2 instance. So basically the user will try to access our EC2 instance from outside through application load balancer, and the request must be validated through this AWS web application firewall. So this is the what we are performing. So let's try to implement this. So let's go to our AWS console. So first of all we have to create one VPC for that. So just go to VPC section. Okay, it's loading. Now as you can see this, we are in the North Virginia region and there is an VPC. This is the default. It's not default, I already created this VPC. So let's delete this one. We will do it from scratch. Click on delete. Now you don't have any VPC configured in your account. So in order to launch any servers, you must have at least one VPC. So we are creating. So click on create VPC button. Select VPC only. Name your VPC. I am giving it test VPC. Then CIDR block, that is 12.0.0.0/16. Then keep tenancy as default and create VPC. Now the VPC is created. So let's create some subnets for this VPC. Click on subnets. Here you can see these two subnets are already created for the previous VPC. So just delete them. So just refresh. I think it's deleted. Now create new subnets. Select your VPC. Test VPC we have already created with this CIDR block. Then subnet name. Test subnet 1A, that is for availability zone. Select your availability zone. Here US East 1 availability zone I am going with. Then you must specify your IP ranges. Copy this IP address, paste it. So the CIDR block has a 24 bits reserve, and these are the IP addresses available for this subnet. Again we have to create another subnet. So click on add new subnets, name it, like just copy your previous one and then paste it here. Name it B. Select your availability zone. Then give your CIDR block. So we are creating subnets. Actually we have to change the IP address. Same here. .0.2.0/24. So in this IP range 12.0.2.0/24 we 256 IP addresses are available. So you have successfully created your two subnets for this VPC. Click on create button. So now you can see here two subnets are created for this VPC. So now let's create one internet gateway. As you can see in this diagram, we have internet gateway. So click on internet gateways. This is the previous internet gateway. This is refresh, that is deleted. So create new one from here. So just test VPC internet gateway. This is the abbreviation for IG, I mean internet gateway. Then create internet gateway. So you have to attach this internet gateway to your VPC. So click on actions, attach to VPC, select your VPC from drop down and then attach internet gateway. Now you have attached your internet gateway to your VPC. Now create routes. So refresh. This will eliminate or delete your previous entries. So now you have a one by default route created with this VPC. So we are going to create our new route table. Click on route table. Name your route table like test VPC route table. Then specify your VPC. This is test VPC. So basically VPC route tables and internet gateways are the essential components to launch your instance. This we are creating a private cloud for the organization, for the purpose for our personal use. So you have created this route tables. So these route tables must have at least subnets, one or two subnets. So we are associating subnets into this route table. So click on edit subnet association. So attach these subnets to your route table, save on association, and then edit routes. Specify your route in order to communicate with the internet. So you must have at least internet gateway attached to your VPC and a route table. So click on add routes from anywhere. This 0.0.0/0 means anywhere from internet can access your VPC and vice versa. Select internet gateway. Select internet gateway you have created. This is test VPC IG, and just click on save changes. So now almost everything is configured. So now let's go and create one instance. Okay, now we are going to create one EC2 instance in our VPC that we have already configured. So name your instance, that is demo web application firewall instance. Select your operating system. I am going with Ubuntu. Then t2.micro. This is the free eligible instance type. This is basically general purpose instance. Select your key pair. Master key I have already created, so I am using it. You can create from here, create new key pairs, and then attach VPC. So this VPC is already attached to this instance. Select your subnets. You can use any one of these two instances. I am going with availability 1A. So now I want public IP address to this instance, so just enable it. So this will allocate one public IP address to your instance. Then create security group, name it like test web application firewall security group. Then allow SSH traffic from anywhere, it's okay. Add another rule. So this is for HTTP requests. So HTTP transfer protocol, TCP protocol will be there on a port 80, and the source from anywhere, any people can request your instance for HTTP contents. Then we must configure Apache server into our this instance, so we need some script for that. So we have ready. Let me check my. So let's paste it. So now basically this will update some packages into while booting your system. And then this command will install Apache 2, and this echo command will return you some server related details. And after all, we are starting Apache 2 server. So let's launch. It will take some time. Okay, so now the instance is running. So let's check. Click on refresh. Meanwhile, we'll just create one load balancer. As you can see here, we have now configured VPC subnets. We have launched one EC2 instance in public subnet. Then we are going to configure one application load balancer. So click on load balancers. So in order to work with load balancer, you must create target group for load balancer with respect to EC2 instance. So click on target groups. As of now, we don't have any target group, so let's create one. Create target groups instance. Choose your target type instance. We are basically using this target group for instance, so click on instances. Name your target group like test EC2 web application firewall. Choose port 80. IP address type IPv4. Then select your VPC. Keep everything as default and just click on next. Okay, so now you have available instances. So this is the previous instance we have created. So this instance is in the running state. Click on this button, instance ID, and click on include as pending below. This will associate this instance with your target group and create target group. Okay. Now everything is okay. So let's go with this load balancer option and now create one load balancer for that. So we have three types of load balancer here: application load balancer, network load balancer, and a gateway load balancer. We are not discussing about network load balancer and gateway load balancer as of now. So the application load balancer we are using for HTTP and HTTPS traffics. So we can monitor these two protocols and then click on create button. So just name your application load balancer. This is the test web application firewall EC2. Then internet facing, yes, I need internet facing. Okay, so the incoming traffic will be first handled by this application load balancer. Then IP address type, IPv4 addresses recommended for internal load balancer. So then select your VPC, then select these two subnets. Now you must specify one security group for this. So I am going with this IG test web application firewall and check it. So now listeners and routing. So HTTP port 80 is the listener for this, and default action will be like test EC2 web application firewall. Keep everything as default. You don't need to configure these things right now. We will configure it later, so you can see what we are doing here. So security group you have created. This is the network mapping. This is the VPC and these two subnets, and we are listening this application in HTTP port 80 port on port 80. So let's create load balancer. So this is the basic configuration you have to do for this load balancer. So now the message is saying that you have successfully created your load balancer, and this is in the provision state. So let's refresh it. So it will take some time. Meanwhile, just go with your web application firewall. So you can achieve this by using security group also, but to just demonstrate the use case of web application firewall, I am creating this video. So you can handle more security related stuff with this web application firewall. So just keep in mind, you will be having some prices for this. I mean, you will charge for using this. So after installation, after configuration, after using your this web application firewall, you must delete these resources, so you will not get more charges. So click on web application firewall. Also check your status of your load balancer. So it's still in the pending state, I mean provisioning. Meanwhile, just create this web application firewall configuration. So first we have to create some IP sets. So basically on the IPs we are going to block the traffic with respect to that particular IP. I already have this one, so let's check it, what is there in. I think this is nothing, so let's edit. So my app, let's keep it. So add IPs. So you have to specify your IP address. So let's go and find your device IP address. So let's type here find my IP. This is fine. We have already IPv6 address. We don't need to go with this. This is our public IP address. Copy it, paste it, and give So the IP addresses with this range and this block will be blocked by this uh, firewall. So I am configuring my own IP address with this block. Just add it. So if you want to block if you want to block IP addresses, so you have to only add with this button, add IP addresses, and you will be able to block those IP addresses. So let's go with this web application ACL. Then I think now we have to create one web application firewall. So region resources, keep it, and we are provisioning this firewall into this North Virginia region. Name it like test. Web application firewall. Copy, paste description, and add AWS resources. So click on here. So basically this you have to specify one load balancer with this web application firewall, and click on add button. Click on next. So specify some rules. Based on these rules, this firewall will work. So click on add rules, and click on add my own rules and rule groups. So we are configuring this web application firewall with IP sets. So basically, what are the IP sets we provided? Basically, previously we have set one IP address. So these IP address will be blocked. Select IP sets, name your rule like block traffic IPs. Select IP set. So this is my laptop IP set. Okay. Source IP address, and this is the action block, allow, count, capture, and challenger. These are the the actions you can perform on this firewall. So I am going with block all the access, add rule. So before going to execute this all commands, let's first check whether we can able to access our instance or not. So let's check our load balancer. So the load balancer is in the active state. So let's go with this DNS name and try to access our instance. So now you are able to access your instance from load balancer. Basically you are requesting to the load balancer, and this load balancer is redirecting your request to your servers. Click on refresh. So now you are able to connect with. So let's configure this web application firewall, and let's see whether you can able to access this instance or not. Click on next. Click on set rules priority, and next. Keep everything as default. Click on next. Create web ACL. So this will take time, don't worry. Meanwhile, you can read what you have created. You can go through this. So this is in the pending state. Everything is okay. So now let's see whether we can able to access our server or not. So just go to your load balancer, copy this address, we have already copied, but let's check in another tab, copy and paste it and try to access that server with your IP address. So this is 403 forbidden, it means you are blocked, you cannot access that server. So this is the use case of web application firewall, and you can go in depth that into that web application firewall and configure most complex cases for making your application more secure. Thank you.